Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Brousard, and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of volunteerism and nonprofit organizations for the disabled. Now, as you may have noticed, I am disabled myself. I am blind in both eyes, have been since birth. I was born with a very rare genetic disease called Stargardt's. And Stargardt's affects my retinas and causes a lot of central vision loss. And while I do have some vision, it's very hard for me to make out details, recognize people, read signs. I have to read very close whenever I read a textbook or anything like that. And I've had it since birth. And growing up, no one could figure out what was wrong with my eyes. I went to so many doctors, no one could figure it out. And that really set off a childhood of being different. I had all these doctors telling me, the best doctors in the world telling me they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And then pile that on with what I was going through at school. From the second I walked onto campus at school, when I was 5 years old in kindergarten, I was bullied. Because I was the only kid in my small town with a disability, and naturally the bullies flocked to me. I can remember my first bully, his name was Evan, and he came up to me one day, and he referred to me as the nickname of choice at my school, which was Blind Kid. He said, "Hey, blind kid." And I turned around and he socked me square in the nose, simply because I was different. And I experienced a lot of bullying during my junior high and elementary years. It was very tough, and it got to the point where in 4th grade I was suicidal. I wanted to kill myself. I told my parents I wanted to kill myself because every day I come to school and people would tell me, "You're worthless, you're different, you're weird, you're scum, you're garbage." And when you're told that every day, you start to believe it after a while. You really do. And that continued throughout my middle school years, and I really needed to find an outlet. I needed to find a change. I needed something to happen in my life that would alter this negative tailspin I was in. And my freshman year, I came across, at high school, I came across a story. And the story was about a father talking to his son. And the father tells his son, "Son, there's a battle inside of you every day between two wolves. The first wolf feeds off of anger, resentment, fear, negativity. The second wolf feeds off of happiness, joy, and positivity." And the son asked the dad, "Well, Dad, which wolf wins?" And the father answered, "Whichever wolf you feed." And to that point in my life, I had been feeding that big bad wolf all the time. And when you're born with a disability, people feed you that negativeness. And it's easy to internalize that and not focus on what you can do and be defined by your disability. For a long time, this is it right here. This is what defined me. I was the blind kid. That was the nickname they gave me in school, and that's what I told myself. I'm just a blind kid. I can never accomplish anything. And then I came across that story about the wolves. And then I started getting people in my life that altered the course of my life for the positive. As a freshman in high school, I played on the football team. And I was a big football fan, and I love the game, and my coach, he recommended that I try track and field in the off season. Just as a good cross trainer, and I never thought about doing track and field before, but I figured, hey, I'll give it a shot. So I went there and I met somebody that really changed my life for the better. He was one of our volunteer coaches. His name was Coach Corbett. And Coach Corbett saw something in me that no adult to that point really had seen. And that was a passion, that was a drive, and dedication that I had to achieve my goals. And Coach Corbett took that and he said, "I'm going to put in the effort to make sure this person achieves their goals, despite the fact they have a disability, and go that extra mile to make sure they get what they need to achieve their goals." And so I started working with Coach Corbett a lot. In my freshman year, oh my gosh, I stunk up the room. I was terrible in track and field. I was the worst thrower on the team. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the coaching. I enjoyed the team atmosphere. And I had a goal that next year to improve and be the best thrower on the team. So my sophomore year, that's exactly what happened. All that work, all that effort turned out where I took second place in the conference in shot put that year. And I continued on, and then I got into my first event for the blind in my junior year, 2007. I got a flyer in the mail from a nonprofit organization called the Junior Blind of America, located in Los Angeles. And they have an event every year called the Junior Blind Olympics. And at this event, there was about 200 blind athletes from, I think, 4 or 5 states. And I remember going to the event, and they had over 400 volunteers there helping out, making sure that we all had the tools and the ability to get done what we need to get done on the field of play. And seeing that large group of volunteers making an event like that possible was incredibly inspiring and something that I'll never forget going to, because they were all behind us, and seeing that really propelled me to continue my athletic career. And so after that year, I also got connected with the United States Association of Blind Athletes, which is a local nonprofit here in Colorado Springs and a member organization of the U.S. Olympic Committee. And the U.S. Association of Blind Athletes, their mission is to get more blind people involved in sports and physical activity. And they also hold international events. They send teams to international games. And that summer, 2007, I had the opportunity to represent the United States at the World Youth Games for the Blind here in Colorado Springs. And it was my first international event for the blind. And I ended up taking second place overall in the shot put. And I lost by half an inch to a Russian guy. Still bothers me to this day. And that kind of kick-started the rest of my career. I started competing internationally. I went to the World Championships in 2011 in Turkey, representing the United States, where I took home a gold medal in the shot put and discus, and I broke an American record in the discus. Fast forward to last year, I went to the World Championships again, this time in Seoul, Korea, representing Team USA, and I won another gold medal in the discus, and I set the American record once again. And I look back to my life where I was as a kid, where I was a suicidal 4th grader who wanted to take their life because I never thought I could accomplish anything in the world. And then I look back to people like Coach Corbett, who took the time and effort out of their day to make that special connection with a person with a disability that completely changed the course of my life. And then I look at a group like the United States Association of Blind Athletes, a group that I have the pleasure of working for now. And all the life-changing, all the inspirational, all the empowering things they do for blind people to show them the abilities they have. And so I encourage you all, after you leave this event, to go out there and volunteer. If you have the means to, donate to nonprofits that help people with disabilities, because it does make a huge difference in their life. What it does is it redefines who they are. It doesn't make their disability who they are. Okay, before, like I said, I was the blind kid. That's how people saw me. That's how I defined myself. But that's no longer the case. For a long time, this right here, this is what defined me. But this right here, that no longer defines me. Because of groups who made that extra effort, volunteers and individuals and organizations who help the blind and disabled, this right here, it's one of my gold medals. This right here is what defines me. Thank you again.